yourself.
Hey everybody, it's another episode of Go Flix Yourself. My name is Ben Konowitz, and with me as always is the pulled pork to my brisket, Bradford Oman.
Hey, that's me. I'm always pulling my pork somewhere.
That's very true. And the you know what? The pork belly man candy
Ooh.
to my brisket, Mr. Nate Loucks.
Your flattery will not work on me.
No?
No.
But
It did. I'm so
but
flattered.
I've got this smooth and smoky voice tonight.
I know. You a little under the water, buddy?
I'm a horse. We were in a boat race yesterday for charity, and it was one of those things where you paddle your ass off and you yell, like you count the number of 1, 2, 3 as you're doing these paddles, and I yelled my ass off. It was hard.
So I saw at the front of these. This is for those of our listeners. This is a dragon boat. So it looks like a Viking boat almost.
You're coupled up with somebody next to you of equal size, which means I was in the middle of the boat because I'm the biggest by far.
Yeah. Hey, wait. I got something to ask. I saw at the front of these. There's like a drum.
Yes.
You know I'm a drummer.
Hitting the drum.
I am a drummer, and you did not ask me.
Well, you're a large individual. We need somebody that's drumming to be very, very tiny.
Yeah,
I'm losing weight.
Well, I know you are. You look great, but we
You're
need somebody
too tall.
like half your size.
Yeah, we're not trying to get a tall drummer.
I can't help it. I cannot. You know what? It really pissed me off whenever I go to a concert and people are like, "Hey, tall guy, get in the back." I'm like, "No, I want to enjoy this concert as well."
I paid good money for these seats. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm at the Metro enjoying MXPX like everyone else. Maybe just let me enjoy the show.
Wow,
He's a
you
weird
just
guy.
dated yourself so.
I know.
Okay, that's fine.
Wow.
Anyway,
I don't go to stand-up shows anymore.
This
like
ragtag team that we put together with MC Garage Doors, Dunlin Media, and Laporte Seamless Company.
MC Garage Doors. Hey-ya. Wah, wah, wah.
They've had their
That's the garage door sound.
They've had their ups and downs. But no, we triple co-sponsored this team because you need 21 people for these fucking boats, and we don't individually have that. So we teamed up. We'd never done this before, and out of 12 teams, we finished third.
This is like the most boring Voltron ever.
I felt so good about it, but also my voice is just fucking.
So were you just
gone.
yelling the whole time? Like,
So the thing is,
row!
they tell you
Row!
when to keep count. It's not counting how many times your paddle hits the water, but when you say the number 1, that's when your paddle should hit the water. So it's very important to be in sync, because if not, you're clicking the paddles together and hitting each other, and you don't go fast enough. So if you're in sync, you'll win. So when you're yelling 1, that's exactly when your paddle hits the water. 2, so you're just like 1, 2, and I'm screaming so everybody can hear me, and then keep
like
it
an
on
old
the pace.
football coach.
Oh my god! And it's they're 2-minute heats, so you're for 2 minutes straight. I'm yelling over and over, and that happened 3 times. There's only 3 heats of 2 minutes each, but for 6 minutes straight, you're just screaming as I'm paddling, and I'm fat and out of breath. So all of that happened, and I woke up this morning. I was like, "Oh, how are you?"
2-minute heat. I'm talking about my love life.
Okay.
2
Anyway,
minutes.
it
Come
was
on
for
now.
charity. It was a great time,
Generous.
and it was for Dunebrook, which is an incredible charity in Northwest Indiana. We had a great time. We will do it again next year for sure.
All right.
All right, thanks for listening to Charity with Ben.
Hey, Brad, where can people find you online?
You can, I'm actually starting my own rowboat company. If you want to come check it out, we're called Big Rowers on High, and this is going nowhere.
I was wondering where you're going. I'm like, I don't get that one. But
you
hey,
can cut this if you want.
not all of them.
If
Not
we're
all
over
of them.
time, you cut this.
Oh, trust me, I'm cutting all of that from the beginning.
Okay, well, never mind then. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, he's grumpy.
we should release I can, because I do all the production. We can release an unedited version.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move on then.
People are gonna
Hey,
love
buddy,
that.
For our,
You know what? It's late. We'll move on.
what's the site where people pay for like extra stuff on podcasts?
OnlyFans.
Nope. I do love that. That's the first thing you guys saw. But
OnlyFans.
Hold on. Say it again. Say it again.
It's OnlyFans.
You said paid. You said paid money.
Feet.
No,
Feet
what is the, what's the extra like? Go on to our like where you pay extra
Patreon.
money. Patreon. We could do that on our
We
Patreon.
should get a Patreon.
Yeah, we got a lot of people willing to pay for our content. I'm sure.
I mean, we're literally begging people just to listen to us.
Welcome to the movie
For
podcast
free.
known as Go Flix Yourself, where we talk about the latest movies we've seen, the trailers, and sometimes we have time for a game or two.
Mm-hmm.
Brad and Nate are pretty good at this, and I'm just here.
That's not. Hey, I don't like this self-talk. This negative self-talk.
It's fine.
You got going on here, buddy.
I love you, buddy. So, Brad, what's the sponsor today? Did you bring one?
You know I brought a sponsor.
I didn't. I was not sure.
No, of course I brought
Hey,
a sponsor. Ben. Let me ask you something.
Don't do it. Like, not tonight. It's late. I just want to get to it.
What's your favorite ice cream scoop?
What?
Scooper, like the brand.
One that's made out of metal that actually your hand heats it up and it melts it a little bit.
What's the kind of like the ice cream scoop you like to eat the most?
Are you just asking me what's my favorite ice cream?
Kind of.
That's such a weird way to say that.
No, because like sometimes
mint chocolate chip.
Yeah, that's the kind. Like if you go to an ice cream shop,
Sure.
that's the kind you kind of get. You like the mint chocolate chip.
Let's say yes.
How about you, Nate?
I am a cookie dough fan.
Okay. All right, I support that.
At the Culver's, I like a cookie dough and a peanut butter cup mix.
That's a great mix right there. I fully support.
It's
that.
wonderful. It makes my life so much happier.
I like Oreos.
No one asked
you.
you.
Yeah, I do. I like cookies and cream. I like cookies and cream.
If it's a mint Oreo, the Kroger's has this mint Oreo ice cream that's very good.
By the way, no one is listening right now.
It's very good. People love this shit.
No one is listening.
No. We've tested it.
The 11,000 followers on Brad's Junk would disagree. So growing every day, Brad's Junk just keeps getting more followers. Guys, I got a treat for you, all right? And it's easily digestible for the two of you, just 2 pieces, because I've already had this tasty treat, and I'm going to let you guys take a sample for yourself. So go ahead, Ben, take a square out of there and give the other square to Nate. This is Butterscotch Scoop Snickers.
Snickers Butterscotch Scoop.
Yeah, it's for some reason they specifically didn't want to do just butterscotch Snickers. They went with butterscotch scoop, which is inspired by butterscotch ice cream, apparently. I don't know why the ice cream had to be there. I don't know if it adds like to the creaminess of the butterscotch flavor.
It almost tastes like toffee.
That's the butterscotch.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not toffee scoop. It's butterscotch.
It just tastes like toffee.
Nate, how you feeling?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I prefer regular Snickers. I love regular Snickers.
I do like how the butterscotch goes with the nougat and the caramel and the peanuts.
Nougat.
But I do agree with you that I do like a regular Snickers.
No, I don't love this.
Yeah, it's all right though.
Brad, what's the last movie you saw, buddy?
Oh, jeez.
Let's just get right into it here.
Well, the last movie I watched was actually Wayne's World 2 because we were preparing to do an episode of our...
Also, real quick, going back to the sponsor, I can't believe you cut this off so early. Thank you again to the Mars Corporation, who, honestly, I know the vice president personally.
Who is it?
Well, it used to be. His last name is Black.
Is that true?
I dated a woman in college named Kate Black, and her father was the vice president of the Mars Corporation.
No shit.
Lived in Connecticut, drove a Porsche Boxster to work every day, and provided her on Valentine's Day with 2 dozen of the nicest red roses that you will ever see. And so when I showed up with my 1 dozen red roses from the convenience store, it was not a contest.
Nope.
So,
and did she break up with you on February 15th?
She did not, but one time I did go to her house and swim in her dad's pool. And
shaped like a Snickers bar.
She pointed to my stomach and she says, "You need to work on this."
Did she really?
I'm not joking. That's a real story.
Oh,
how did you?
She's
did you?
a bitch.
I was in college, and so I was not super fat yet.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I've seen pictures of you in college.
Hey, but guess what? Even if you were, fuck that girl.
It was not a great time.
Yeah, you be confident in who you are, and you just wear it with pride.
I like your body.
Honestly,
I do.
I learned a lot from that relationship.
If she would have said that's me, I would have leaned into her close and being like, "Your family owns a fucking candy company."
Give me more candy.
Yeah.
By the way, I do love that it evolved from him being a vice president to you own the candy company. But by the way, our listeners might not know we're all on a weight loss challenge.
Yes. And honestly, I'm doing quite well. And so are you.
I'm okay. No, you're better than me.
You're doing pretty well.
I'm doing okay. Brady, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. But we're still in it, though. Like, we have to lose 2 pounds every, 3 weeks.
2 pounds every 3 weeks, and you're both still in.
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't think I would be, but I am.
We have 60 people doing this. I'm currently 23rd.
Yeah, 2 of my staff members are 2 and 3, I think, right now.
Really?
Taylor and Michelle.
Oh, good for them. Michelle's awesome. Taylor's a sweetheart.
Yep.
Yeah,
kudos to them.
Good for them.
But we are losing some weight together.
Yeah. But Brad, what is the last movie you saw, buddy?
Butterscotch Scoop Snickers. Wayne's World 2. I think I got that off before we circled back to the Mars Wrigley story. I watched it for our Saturday Night Live podcast, the 10 to 1 podcast, which we'll be doing later this week. We'll be talking about that for the next installment of our Saturday Night Live movie series. But before that, I have been on a torture porn kick.
Whoa. Okay, what the fuck did you just say out loud in the microphone?
So Saw X is coming.
I thought that my story about my ex from college was a little rough, And they're like, I've been on a torture porn kick. That, you know what? Eclipsed it. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, the Saw X is coming.
Wait, so
and
have you been doing a rewatch?
so here's the thing. I had only ever seen the first 3 Saw movies, and then I kind of just fell away from them, and I was just like, I'm fine.
And honestly, you could have left it there.
I know I could have, but honestly, I'm curious because I have heard that the series does get kind of bonkers.
It does.
Take some wild turns.
It does.
And my mom was interested because she's a horror movie fan, and so we started watching from the beginning again.
And, a mother and son that watch torture porn together stay together.
I agree.
That's the famous phrase.
And that's where we're doing it. Just bringing us closer together, cringing at all the gore and blood. And
It's so cringy.
It really is.
Like I'm sorry, not cringy in that way, but
no, it's tough.
in the woof, that's hard to watch.
It hurts. Like you're
There's a key behind his eye.
oh, your body just.
I don't want to say this, but I'm going to. That I've never seen a Saw movie because I know you're going to assign it to me in October.
I would, Nate. I would only ever give you the first one.
Yeah, because the first
because the first one is less.
It's fun to experience because of the twist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they all have twists, and they all are interesting. But
the first one is why there's a whole 10 of them.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It was built on
But
that.
I'm looking at the
premise.
Wikipedia page for the franchise. Donnie Wahlberg's not in the first one.
No,
Right.
I'm not sure I want to see it then.
but Carrie Ellis.
Yeah, Carrie Ellis, and then Lee Wannell, who is the writer.
Danny Glover?
He's in the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I'm in there.
Honestly, here's the thing: the first one, even though it has the best twist, and I think has the coolest reveal and everything, it has the worst acting by
for
far.
sure, for sure.
Almost everybody in that movie is awful.
And I also
awful.
wonder about that because Carrie Ellis is not a bad actor.
No, and he's really bad. in
He's
this.
not great.
He's really
And so
bad.
then you wonder, is it the direction? Is it like, let's take that again and play it this way or whatever? But you can say that all day long. At the end of the day, not a great performance out of anybody. But again, the twist in that movie is fantastic.
So which one did you watch?
I've seen the first 4 now.
Okay.
Yeah, we've made it through the first 4, and there are 4 more. I think 5, 6, 7, 8, and then
Well,
5, 6, 7.
No,
and then-
there'd be 6 more. Right?
Saw.
Well, no.
Saw.
So because X is the 10th one. Before that is Spiral, which isn't technically a full-on Saw movie.
I saw that one.
It's a different approach.
That was not a.
Ah.
I didn't mean to do it.
So I have to see 5,
And then Jigsaw.
5, 6, 3D, and Jigsaw.
5, 6,
I think are the
3D,
ones.
I
think those are the ones that I have seen. Why do you keep doing this?
Because you said 5, 6,
Yeah,
7.
but no one's doing like your Fosse Saw nonsense.
If I had a better voice right now, that would have played better.
Hey, but the Spiral one, Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock are in it.
And that doesn't make it good.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that
That
one was
makes
very good.
Max Minghella.
It's wasted.
So yeah, it's just they are tough to watch. They're like it's brutal. Lots of blood, lots of gore, just a lot of suspense and
Anything
tension.
else?
And, so I was excited to talk about this last week, but we didn't do an episode last week. But I went on a quadruple feature, boys.
What?
I saw 4 movies in theaters.
No,
In
same
one
day.
day.
Same day.
Brad, you know the Guinness Book of World Records is like 770 something?
I just heard that. My good friend Ben Konowitz put that in the group thread with me and my other friend Nate Loucks.
The Guinness Book of World Records is something like 770 movies in the theater in one year. But
he did that in the theaters?
in theaters.
Oh,
1 year.
Shit.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did you think that was just watching
no,
movies?
Yeah, no, in my mind, I thought, he just watched.
Oh, God, no, I'm sure the record there is like 3,000. People can watch 5 movies at home
that'd
a
be
day.
sad.
But in the theater, that's more than 2 a day.
And that's so much
So
money.
what movies did you see in the theater? 4 of them. Because are there 4 like watchable movies in the theaters right now?
For the most part,
It was,
yeah.
what, last week or 2 weeks ago?
It would have been a week from the weekend that we're in now. So last week.
Well, what were they? In order.
In order, I saw Strays.
All right, we reviewed that trailer here. I was excited to see it. Didn't get the greatest reviews.
Yeah, and it's fine. It is consistently funny, but not like always laugh out loud funny.
Does it have heart?
Not really.
Okay.
It's more so just about the raunch and like the comedy that comes from the naivety of Will Ferrell as a dog character. And there's some good jokes as far as like how they characterize the dogs and how they understand the world. But for me, the biggest problem was they couldn't figure out whether they wanted to be a more absurd version of this comedy or a more straightforward version. And there are bits that are so funny because they are kind of they have like a hot rod level of humor, and I wish they would have leaned more into that as opposed to most of the rest of the movie what they did, which is just because the dogs are talking in a raunchy and funny way about the world.
Did they go raunchy a little too much, you think? Like
It's not even that they went raunchy too much. It's just the style of humor isn't as clever as it would be if they leaned more into the absurdity of it.
I would feel like with dogs, there's a lot of humor there to be done.
Yeah, and then
you could find that film somewhere.
And that brings about my other nitpick is there seemed to be a lack of consistency in the logic with which that they approach the humor about the dogs, because it would go from like in one instance you would have a thing where Jamie Foxx's dog as a character views a couch as one of his lovers and thinks it's like talks to it like it's a person, kind of thing. But then in another instant you would have Will Ferrell's dog, who's supposed to be like pretty naive and doesn't really understand much about the world, mention something about Rumspringa, and it's like, how would this dog understand the concept of Rumspringa but have no idea that his owner treats him like
Welcome to
shit?
Brad's Nitpick Corner. This has been.
But that's part of comedy, though. Is like the legit
the consistencies.
Yeah, the sound logic of the world in which your movie.
Yeah, you're
exists.
creating this world.
Live in the universe you built.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So is there a lot of like dog humping jokes?
Yes.
There are some. I wouldn't say.
Did you see it, Ben?
I wouldn't say he.
I've seen.
rented it.
You know what? I rented it, and I've seen in dog years. I've seen. No, I've seen half of it.
Okay, but so it leans into that kind of stuff, like, look, a dog humping.
There's a lot of pissing on things. There's a lot of humping on things. There's a lot of dog shit. There's a lot of, stuff like that. And again, Brad did say the second half of the film is better than the first, and I have yet to see that, so I won't speak to that. But I will say I laughed out loud a couple of times, and mainly it is Will Ferrell's naivete about that, but also about Will Forte's performance as this piece of shit. But Jamie Foxx, honestly,
yeah, his voice is great
as that dog.
Yeah, so it was fine. The second movie I saw was Equalizer 3.
Yes, and I did see your tweet on that it was better than you thought.
Yeah, I was genuinely surprised that it is a thoroughly solid action sequel.
I think Denzel's great.
No, I mean,
hard opinion.
Denzel has never been the problem with the Equalizer movies, and that's not to say the Equalizer movies are downright terrible. The first one's actually pretty dang good.
I love the first one.
Yeah, first one's great.
I love it. Yeah.
Second one, not so much.
No, not good.
However, there is a contingent of people, and there are some of them on the Slash Film staff who are defenders of just the franchise overall, because the way they look at it is, if you look at them like slasher movies, I guess, like then you kind of maybe you appreciate them more.
Sure, but I get that, but that's almost saying like, hey, the intention of these films.
Right.
Don't look at it that way.
Yeah,
which is weird.
But no, this one I enjoyed very much. It's not revolutionary or anything like that, but the story it tells is cool. The action is solid, and it's just I found myself enjoying it very much.
It was like a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it did pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, like critics.
Conversely, you're saying that this is an uptick from 2 to 3, right?
Absolutely.
So that famous, I don't know who said it. So credit to this critic. Taken 3 makes Taken 2 look like Taken 1.
Yeah.
So that's not the case here.
No, not the case here.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
So,
I'm very excited to see this.
No, it's good. I personally think that it's worth seeing.
Yeah, just to compare Rotten Tomato scores, Rotten Tomato the consensus for the second one is a 52%. This one was around 75.
What was the first one?
Don't know, but I'm going to guess pretty high because it's really good.
No, yeah, the first one is a very solid.
I'm going to guess 85.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me to be.
Do you like The Equalizer?
Oh no, The Equalizer. So this is actually the highest. The third is the highest. 60% on the first one. They're wrong. The critics are wrong on that one.
So Brad, did you like the first Equalizer or Man on Fire better?
Oh, Man on Fire.
Man on Fire, right?
Man on Fire is incredible.
One of my favorite revenge movies of all time.
Man on Fire is awesome.
And you know that I love revenge movies. More. That's my genre, right? I love them. Man on Fire is near the top for me. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's outstanding. I love that movie.
Have you guys either seen the Thomas Jane Punisher?
No, I did when it first came out, but
I'm gonna make you both rewatch.
I honestly don't remember anything about it except for John Travolta.
I'm such a defender of that
being
film.
terrible.
It's so fun.
By the way,
it's so fun.
John Travolta's bad in it, though, isn't he?
He's so over the top. It's silly.
By the way, Man on Fire, you mentioned.
Yeah.
Equalizer 3 reunites Denzel and Dakota Fanning.
Yeah. Indeed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's.
I've not watched Man on Fire.
Almost 20 years later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I've seen Man on Fire in years and years. But
Creasy's art is death, and he's about to paint his masterpiece. See, I can't.
I wish you had more time.
That's a great Christopher Walken.
That's a good.
Good for you.
It's a pretty good Denzel.
I love that line.
I'm proud of you.
I love that line. Such good delivery.
Can you do your just because I had a day, Brad. I had a day.
Yeah. What do you want?
Tough day. Could you please do your Philip Seymour Hoffman from Mission Impossible 3? Please.
You have a wife, a girlfriend. Whoever she is, I'm gonna find her and I'm gonna hurt her.
It's the best one you do.
She's gonna scream and cry out your name. You're not gonna be able to do shit about it.
That's so good.
Because you're gonna be this close to death yourself.
I love it.
And then I'm gonna kill you right in front of her.
It's like you close your eyes and he's here.
Are you ever impressed with Brad's memory? God. Brad, you.
Yeah. By the way, it's not just good. It's not just good line.
Yeah.
But you know how to. You know the entire.
I forget the movie I just watched before I came here. Like I genuinely do. I'm like, I don't remember.
To be fair, honestly, in the case of Mission Impossible 3, it's the point where that first trailer for that movie with part of that monologue was so good. I watched that trailer a bunch when I was in college.
Also, how many times have I made you do that?
Oh yeah, that's true.
In our friendship, 35.
But no,
50 times.
I love that scene and like it's
You're so good
I watched
at that
so many
impression.
times. Oh, thanks, buddy. So Equalizer 3. Then I saw Retribution, the Liam Neeson action thriller.
Yeah, what do you think?
I
haven't even read the reviews of it.
It's better than I thought it would be. Not on the same level as Equalizer 3. Better than I thought it was going to be. It has the premise works pretty well, and it's
except he's a grandpa playing a dad, right?
Honestly, his age doesn't really shine through very much. He doesn't look remarkably older than you would expect Liam Neeson to be at this point, you know. And he's got like a teenage son, so it's fine. And his wife isn't like incredibly younger than him in the movie.
84.
Is he really?
No.
That would have been shocking to me. But no,
I think that Liam Neeson is legitimately 69 or 70 years old.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. But so it's Speed meets Phone Booth, you know. I think that for me the biggest problem is the writing wasn't always as sharp when it comes to how the characters talk. There's so many times in these kinds of movies when the characters are confronted by like law enforcement or something like that where they have a chance to explain what's going on, and for some reason they never just come out and say what's happening. They say it in a way that's kind of vague and mysterious, and not because they're being threatened about it, like because like they have the ability to and not get caught. Like they know something's going on.
But is this because then you wouldn't have a movie?
No. Honestly.
No, because honestly, like we talk about this all the time with my awkwardness. If you just explain it, you get away with it. But then my mom would say when I was growing up, like, well, then you wouldn't have a TV show, Ben.
No, because there are several moments when it's clear that something strange is going on, and they're not like law enforcement isn't really sure. They know they shouldn't entirely trust Liam Neeson's character, but it's pretty clear that like he's not really the one that's doing what's going on. But for some reason, Liam Neeson can't articulate like certain things that he should easily be able to explain to them.
Absolutely not because they're trying to hide it because there wouldn't be a movie.
No, gotcha. not at all. No,
and that's unfortunate.
And it's just kind of clunky sometimes the way that they like try to like get around things and things like that.
Sure.
So but the action is enjoyable. It's a fun premise that sustains itself pretty well. And I had a good time watching it. Like I wasn't upset that I saw it.
I have a question. So this is the third movie you've seen in the theater at that day.
Yeah.
Are you refilling your popcorn the whole time?
No, honestly. So the first movie, I didn't have anything.
What time did you go? What time was the first movie?
The first movie was at 2:15.
4 a.m.
2:15.
How did you fit 4 movies in?
Most of them, almost all of them, were only an hour and a half.
Okay.
Equalizer was the only one that was 2 hours long.
So you were literally walking to the next film, like
no, actually. So to answer your question, I didn't have snacks for the first movie because I had just gotten breakfast with my family. The reason I was seeing 4 movies in a row, I otherwise probably wouldn't have done this, is because I was in Illinois. My mom went to an EDM music festival with my sister for her birthday. For lack of a better term.
glow sticks and everything.
Yeah, like a full-on EDM concert. My sister goes to these with her boyfriend for on several times throughout a year for her birthday.
What's your mom's name?
She wanted my mom to go. What?
What's your mom's name?
Janet.
Janet's the best. Because your mom's like pushing 60, right?
She's over 60.
And she's going to EDM concerts.
Yeah, she went to an EDM concert, and she had a good time. She liked the music. She enjoyed the experience. She liked seeing my sister enjoy herself in her element. And so I volunteered.
Is she going to Ibiza next?
She absolutely.
It's a Ibiza
And Burning Man probably if it ever dries up. But so they went to this, and I offered to drive my mom out there so that she could spend the day out there and leave.
You didn't want to go.
It was too expensive for me.
Okay.
Especially for music that I don't really have an interest in. Even though I have heard some stuff and it does sound good. But that's beside the point. I offered to drive her out there so she could leave when she wanted to and not have to worry about driving herself and coming back late. And so the best way to fill the time was for me to catch up on movies. And that's exactly what I did. So I actually had a gap in between Equalizer 3 and Retribution where I went and got some food and went to some stores and took some pictures for Brad's junk and everything like that. So Retribution was the third movie, and the fourth movie I saw was Bottoms, which was was fucking hilarious. It is Fight Club meets But I'm a Cheerleader. Rachel Sennett and Ayo Adebiri are amazing in it. It has like
What, you just said her name, Ayo
Adebiri.
Ayahuasca Theory.
She's killing it right now.
Yeah, she's had an incredible year between The Bear season 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this
Theater Camp.
yeah, Theater Camp. Yeah, she's had an incredible year, and I'm pretty sure there's like 2 other things.
And
that
I'm so excited because she's great.
Yeah, she's fantastic. But yeah, this movie is very funny. It has a level of like Dumb and Dumber, Romy and Michelle kind of absurdity to it, but it has a little bit of like a darker edge. Marshawn Lynch is in it, and he's very funny.
More Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah,
please.
seriously,
He's
it's
fantastic.
but yeah, it is a hilarious movie, and it goes to some weird places, but I really enjoyed it. The ensemble cast is fantastic. It's really really good. So it should be playing everywhere, wide theaters now. Go out of your way to see it.
Brad, you've seen a lot of films this year. We just mentioned Theater Camp. Do you think comedies are doing fairly well this year? Or like an indie comedy kind of like
Indie comedies, you tend to like find a decent groove, you know.
Yeah.
Bottoms actually did really well when it had a limited release in just like 4 theaters, and I want to say that the per screen average for them was like it set a new record, I think, and I forget what it is. I know we wrote about it at Slash Film, but when Bottoms had its initial very limited first weekend release, it was a big hit. And it's been doing pretty decent since it's expanded.
I'll give you that data for you
Yeah,
real
please
quick
do.
because I did look it up. So the film opened in limited release at 10 theaters
10
in New York,
theaters, yeah.
Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Austin, grossing $461,000 in opening weekend, making for a per theater average of $46,000.
Jesus.
This was the highest
Holy
per
shit.
screen average on 10 or more screens since Everything Everywhere All at Once, a film that you kind of liked.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, so it's been doing very well, and if it's playing near you, go out of your way to see it. It's very funny. These are the kind of indie comedies I love supporting in theaters,
Yeah,
since we don't
that's
get a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying. I
comedies
love this,
anymore.
yeah.
So yeah, definitely worth seeing. And yeah, that's pretty much my movie ride lately.
And nicely done.
Yeah, thanks. What's the last movie you saw, Ben?
Well, did you talk about your assignment?
Oh no, not yet. Sure, I guess I can do that now.
Yeah, go
Oh, so technically I had 2 assignments because I missed last time I was assigned Meet Joe Black by Nate Loucks. And before I get to what I want to say about this movie, Nate, tell me why you like this movie.
I haven't seen this film in a long time, but I just really enjoyed
It's the car accident.
No, I just really enjoyed the framing of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was, I'd never thought about the idea of somebody essentially growing old opposite, right?
That's the Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh,
but
sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Wow. Did you assign me the wrong movie?
No, I didn't. What did I just? It's been so long. What
Meet
did I
Joe
say?
Black.
Oh,
Where Brad Pitt plays Death?
Yeah.
Dude.
yeah. No, I've seen this film and I don't even remember why.
Did you really
You
think...
assigned me a movie
Wait,
that
wait.
I really did.
Hold on, we have no. We have the,
Hold
no,
on.
wait. We have the reverse of what I did. I watched Ghost World, and Nate assigned the wrong movie.
Brett, why are you on a podcast
Oh
with us?
my god! Nate's never seen Meet Joe Black.
I know. I guarantee you, I've seen Meet Joe
I'm
Black.
surrounded by
Oh,
idiots.
this is fantastic.
Wow.
I honestly don't remember. I know
I
I've
was
seen
just
Meet
so.
Joe
I
Black.
was just so. You know what? I was just so curious about a man aging backwards.
Yeah. Hey,
And I said the car accident.
Question for
and
you.
you were like, ha ha ha.
Real quick. Question for you,
Oh
Brad.
my god.
What is Meet Joe Black about?
All right, this is great. All right, so
This is my favorite thing because I didn't fuck up. I didn't make a mistake. This
Meet
is
Joe
you
Black.
guys. Oh my god.
Wait, is this about a big ape?
Oh my god.
that's Mighty Joe Young.
Oh.
Did you want me to watch Mighty Joe Young?
I think so.
That'd be even funnier.
Oh.
Oh my god. Okay, so Meet Joe Black came out in 1998. It is a movie where Brad Pitt and Claire Forlani have this meet cute in a restaurant. It's a cute like setup to what would be a romantic comedy, but then all of a sudden, when they like go their separate ways, Brad Pitt gets hit by a car. That's how this movie opens, and then you have the other main part of the story is Anthony Hopkins is this guy. He's rich. He runs this big company. He's about to turn 65. His other daughter, played by Marcia Gay Harden, is trying to plan a birthday party for him, and he's aging. All of a sudden.
And then he ages in reverse.
all of a sudden, Brad Pitt shows up at Anthony Hopkins' house after he's met Claire Forlani, and he's there, and
And
Claire.
after he's been hit by the car.
Right, correct. He's supposed to be dead. and Claire Filani recognizes him and sees that he's acting strange, like he doesn't really know who she is or anything like that. And it's because death has taken over Brad Pitt's character's body and is experiencing the world as a human through Brad Pitt's character. And he's come because he's there to collect Anthony Hopkins, but he is also taking the time to kind of appreciate and see what human life is like. And so Brad Pitt plays this actually really great performance, like the way he acts like somebody who doesn't really fully understand the world around him, but without doing it in like a super silly, over the top kind of way. It's a very subtle and nice performance. I really appreciated what he did here.
Nate, you should watch it.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, no, this sounds great.
And so it's an interesting movie. There's a lot of genuine romance in it. There's a lot of interesting approaches to just like life and how you think about what you've done with it and like in your years and that kind of thing, and really how we experience life as humans. But
I knew you were getting to something. Yeah.
It is a 3-hour movie, and you feel it. I feel like you could have cut at least a half an hour.
It wasn't Oppenheimer where I'm
really
on the edge of my seat the whole time.
No,
right?
It's a slow burn, and I feel like you really could have cut it down.
Yeah, I just read Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars and said it's a great film. It's just too long.
Yeah, it is unnecessarily.
It's
long.
a good film. Like,
yeah,
Brad Pitt especially.
Yeah, it has a tremendous score too. A very powerful, surging kind of like romantic score.
3 out of 4.
One of the things that I really like about movies that were made before CGI was so readily available and easy
is they killed a guy in that car accident.
You get nowadays you get certain sequences that are created with visual effects because it's easier and it's than trying to plan these things practically. During the finale of this movie, there is a big fireworks display.
And I'm kind of being serious. Do you want to spoil this because Nate hasn't seen it?
I'm not giving anything away.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say there is a big fireworks sequence at this birthday party that's happening for Anthony Hopkins, and you have characters like Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins standing in front of it, and you can tell that this is not a green screen thing where they shot the actors and they did the fireworks at a different time later.
They had to take this.
They actually did real takes in front of this fireworks display.
Jesus Christ.
It
this
looks
like Danny McBride from Tropic Thunder.
I know I've seen this because this scene in my head, you don't even have...
No, and Nate, this is right before Michael Douglas falls through the ballroom.
No, I have this like this idea of like them walking away or something like that. Do they walk away?
They do.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah. So, but the shots are beautiful, and you can tell that they were really there, actually did the fireworks and that kind of thing, and it looks like real and practical and great.
Who is the director of this?
Martin Brest is his name, and he also wrote it. So,
hey, Brad.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you over here?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Nate, can you give us a minute?
Okay, go get some orange juice, buddy.
Hey,
okay.
Brad,
Okay.
Do you want to know what Nate's gonna give you as a movie next time?
Is it? Oh, it's not going to be Curious Case of Benjamin Monk because I've already seen it.
Let me rephrase. Do you know what he's going to try to give you next time? All right, so we're back. Hey,
by the way,
let's talk about that, buddy.
Our listeners don't know that I am the worst at giving movies too, because you guys hound me. They're like, "We've got 6 hours until the podcast starts. Will you please assign me a
Nate,
movie?"
give me a movie.
You're a busy guy. You're a very busy guy. We get it.
No, and will you at least agree with me, Ben? It is hard to find movies for Brad right now.
It's hard. So for me, it is hard only because we have changed the parameters of this to movies we enjoy.
Yeah.
And so there's plenty of movies out there Brad hasn't seen, but not a lot of them that I also, I like movies.
There's not a lot of movies that either of you have seen that are going to be so great that I haven't already seen them because.
Or I'm not joking, Brad. If we marginally like them, that means it was a good enough movie that you probably would have seen it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That makes it harder for us.
For sure.
There are the ones out there, but again, maybe this is a good segue. Brad, what movie did I give you?
Yeah. So Ben gave me Waterworld, which
I defend.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
And honestly, I can't begrudge you for it. This is the first time I've seen it. I was very much aware of its infamous history as far as having being a box office bomb, having a lot of production woes, going way over budget, that kind of thing.
That's an expensive movie. $175 million in
1995.
95. Yeah, that's like $16 billion
dollars
right
now.
No, that's a huge movie today.
It's $1 trillion.
And honestly, you see it on the screen.
And that's what I can appreciate about it.
Super impressive sets, incredible practical action sequences, great production design, an intriguing premise. There's a lot. So the first half an hour of this movie is awesome. I was watching this and I was like, "Who hates this movie? This is ridiculous."
Hey, Brad, real quick though. Is Kevin Costner good in this though? Is he because we've had this conversation about Kevin Costner before.
He's serviceable.
He's playing the same kind of like
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Kevin Costner character where like he's kind of like dismissive of other people, very
Not sure if he
dry,
cares,
kind of quiet,
But
that kind of
that's
thing.
kind of what this role is, and
Exactly,
that's kind of, they wrote it like around him. Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember seeing this either. So
Yeah, and so it's the kind of
He
movie.
ages backwards.
It's Mad Max Fury Road on the water. It
front.
really. It's not anywhere near as good because after the first half hour, it never quite reaches the greatness of that. Because that first act action sequence when like that little water village gets attacked, it's fucking awesome. The shit with the jet skis and like all that stuff. It is good shit.
There's a reason that is the stunt show. Still at
100%,
right?
100%, and it's very popular still too. But after that, it starts to lean into like goofy 90s adventure territory because of the dynamic between Jean Triplehorn and Tina Majorino's character, the woman and the little girl. And as much as I like Dennis Hopper, I gotta say, I feel like his villain is not anywhere near as cool as he should be.
So after the podcast, and for you listeners, there are articles upon articles that you should read about his, like, the behind the scenes of making this.
Yeah.
And it's Dennis Hopper at this time. Read up on it, how crazy he was back then,
I'm
and how
sure.
hard it was to just deal with him.
Yeah,
you know?
but even so, I just feel like his character should have been better and cooler. So there's still some.
He phoned it in for sure.
I enjoyed this movie. I liked it for what it was. I'm not upset that I watched it.
It's not as bad as people make it out.
No,
Also,
no.
Brad thought it was 3 hours. And it's not.
And apparently, so the reason I thought this is for whatever reason, the default runtime on IMDb has been listed as almost 3 hours, and it's because for some reason it lists the runtime of I think it's referred to as the Ulysses cut. And there was, when it played on ABC for the first time, they aired an extended version that added 40 minutes back into the movie, and that's the runtime that is listed. I have no idea why, because it's only 2 hours and 15 minutes.
And honestly, it's not a bad 2:15. Like it's fun to watch.
But I was left with like certain questions that I almost wish that someone would try to like remake this movie today and like pay more attention to like the world and like, you know, really craft it in a way that feels like Mad Max Fury Road, because I think there's a lot of potential there. But like there's stuff that I think that they could have capitalized on. Like they don't really dig into why Kevin Costner's character is a mutant and why it seems like he's the only one who has gills and webbed feet.
Spoiler alert.
Not really, because they revealed that in the first like 10 minutes. And then there's other stuff too that didn't make sense to me. Like for some reason, this movie set 500 years in the future, where the ice has melted, and so like that's why the world is just covered in water now.
Thanks, Republicans.
Seriously.
But for some reason, society has reached such a weird like place where they refer to things from the old world with strange descriptors that like I don't know why they would change, like
because the textbooks in the history books got wet, Brad.
So like they refer to oil, I think it's oil. I don't know if it's oil or if it's gas, but
Gas.
They refer to it as go juice.
Yeah, gas.
Yeah, that'd be like if for example, back in the 1600s we had horses. It'd be like if we called horses like hoof patrol.
So let me
today.
ask you a question, Brad. How do you think that people from like the 1800s knew about things from the 1600s? Do you think they wrote it down, maybe on paper and pencil? And what if the world flooded and everything got wet?
But the knowledge,
everything's digital. Wouldn't they still have the digital everything?
Well, not in the 90s. The knowledge of the knowledge of what gas is called is not something that you forget because it's on paper.
But that's the
By the way, in the 90s we did have digital stuff.
That's the problem.
But not in a way that was easily preserved to like maintain for 500
But that's what honestly linguists talk about is like there's a reason why the languages don't survive.
No, language, sure. Like I understand what you're saying, but this is one of those things where it's such a
ubiquitous.
Yeah, it would have been such a cornerstone of life that no one. It would be like forgetting what chicken is called.
But if there's no chickens for 100 years,
but there's
generation after generation.
But they haven't gotten rid of oil. Like it's always or gas. It's always been around. You know?
Okay. Now that is fair.
Yeah.
Because it's like this.
It's not like it disappeared and all of a sudden it's back.
This utility is not forgotten. We're constantly searching for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Like everyone knows what it is and what it does. So like, I can understand if it was slang. You know, maybe
it's go juice.
Oh my god. But yeah, I enjoyed Waterworld. I'm glad I watched it. Let's do a Lego sequel. Fuck it.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I watched Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I finally saw it.
But I'm a little upset.
What?
You didn't see it in the great big theater.
Yeah, you did.
I saw it in the theater.
in a theater, but you did not see
Jesus
it.
Christ. I'm sorry.
The way the film was created and meant to be seen.
I saw it at AMC in Michigan City, buddy.
That has like one speaker working, and it's too dark. You can't see anything.
You know what? You're right. I should never go to the movies again.
Nate, what are you doing?
I saw Oppenheimer.
Did you love it? Because I love it.
I loved it. Of course I loved it.
I love it.
I love so many aspects of this film. It's almost indescribable to point out what you love about this film if you haven't seen it. Because on paper, if you write it all out, it would seem obviously very boring. It's not. Every scene means something. There's not one wasted moment.
Yep. It's almost a perfectly made film.
3 hours long, and the editing. Who the fuck edited this? Because
Jim.
If they are not up for an Academy Award, then I'm stopping.
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm going to stop watching. Or if they don't win, I'm going to stop watching.
No, this film should win almost everything. Honestly.
It's incredible. I can't even touch on all of the superb acting, but I'm not joking.
Jennifer Lame.
She deserves an Academy Award. This movie is the best, the most well edited movie I've ever seen.
She also, just again, because we don't talk about editors much, but she also did Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Blonde, Judas and the Black Messiah, Tenet, Marriage Story, Midsommar. So, I mean, she's done some great stuff.
I'm not Brad, so I can't really hone in on the behind-the-scenes making of a film and what makes it good. Mm-hmm. I kind of take the whole thing in stride, and I normally lean in on, like, that's a good movie because the performances were good, because that's usually what my dumb brain focuses on. But I was so blown away by the edit that I really recognized it. And I can't remember the last time I saw a film in which something that is so technical spoke to me. It's so well done, and it was perfect.
Because again, I'm also just an idiot. Right. So I find that long films, I need really good editing and really good dialogue, and this film has both. And so,
also, I don't want to take away from the direction, because obviously the edit happens, but the director is the one that says, I would really like it to look like this, and they're going to work together.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
For sure.
But there are decisions an editor makes, because there's so many to make, right?
Oh, yeah.
That they have to kind of do it on their own, and then Christopher Nolan goes, yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I got to just keep going back to that. It was fantastic.
It was just like you said, it just seemed like, I don't even know the names of the people, but everyone seemed to get the vision and executed the vision perfectly in this film.
And this is a scene chewing movie. Mm-hmm. Literally everything is meaty. Even I'm not going to spoil anything. Even roles that you feel like, why is this A-list actor taking this role specifically? Yep. It doesn't make sense because it's a bit part.
They've got 4 lines,
things
right?
do come back a bit where you're like, oh, I see. They probably read the script and they're like, nobody's going to see this coming. And that's what I love about this film. It surprised me at every turn. Yeah. Yeah, I was just, not to be a little punny here, but I was fucking blown away.
It's a film that I saw the trailer.
It was really good.
I saw the trailer and I thought, oh, that looks fine.
Right.
And I went and saw it, and I've been thinking about it probably in a month and a half.
I wish I would have seen it so much sooner. I wish you would have seen it so much sooner. Everybody go see Oppenheimer. You will not have a
see it in the theaters before it's done.
Please,
honestly,
please do yourself a favor.
It's been doing great at the box office, which is amazing for a 3-hour R-rated drama like this.
It's almost at 900 million.
Here's the thing: I've told my parents, they haven't seen it in the theater. I'm like, oh well, we're going. And I'm going to take them over to the Portage Theater. Is the big one, and I'm like, we're going to go there for a night out on the town.
It is. I'm telling you, I
have seen it twice now, and honestly, the second time, I loved it even more.
Yeah,
I really did.
Also, so a few things that let's call them reverse nitpicks, things that I really liked about the film that are just very small things. They didn't cast a famous person. In my opinion, I don't know who this is, so maybe they did, but they didn't cast a famous person to play Albert Einstein.
Oh no, yeah, I don't. He's not very famous as far as I know.
That's a great choice because he's such a well-known figure that you're like, oh, that's Walter Matthau as Albert Einstein in IQ or
Wahoo!
It's you don't need that, right?
It's Tom Conti, and he's like done everything you've seen on PBS, but that's it.
By the way, I'm not disparaging the man. He's fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah, I've not heard of him.
But
either.
if you cast a very, very famous person, it's stunt casting at that point, and I'm glad that they didn't.
For sure.
Whereas these other people in this movie that you kind of have heard their names, but you've never heard of them, or you've never seen them. I couldn't tell you what Oppenheimer looked like in real life, right? Like I'm not a history buff.
I mean, Cillian Murphy, I've seen it is a pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
So again, that's a choice though, so it's like this is a movie that made all the right choices.
Yeah,
I'm just so impressed.
I also want to give it up to Robert Downey Jr., who has been known more for his Iron Man stuff than anything else.
And
the dude is a great actor. Right?
Post Iron Man, he did Dr. Dolittle, and he's done a few things here and there. But has he had a period piece or something that has been really staking his claim as a dramatic actor since Avengers?
I mean, he did Sherlock Holmes, but that was also kind of a similar, kind of role. But no, this is
the most serious thing he's done in a while. Right?
I like the film The Judge.
Yeah,
Did you watch that one?
I was going to say the Judge is I haven't seen it either, but it is a more serious, straightforward, kind of role. But this is something very different for him, and he even said in an interview that Chris Nolan actually wanted to push him away from like his usual kind of tics of like the fast talking, sarcastic kind of thing. Like he really wanted him to venture outside of his comfort zone. Yeah, he did.
He killed it. He killed it.
This is not your typical let Downey Jr. do what he does.
Yeah.
Right. Also, I can't wait to be given The Judge by Nate Loucks, and then when I ask him about it, he's going to say, "Yeah,
I meant jury duty."
It's
exactly. No, Pauly Shore's great. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's The Judge, where Simon Phoenix terrorizes Murder, Death, Killville.
Yeah.
Demolition Man.
That's Demolition Man.
No, exactly. Yeah. He's gonna be so confused.
Yeah,
okay. I thought you were making a Judge Dredd joke.
I was trying to be a little meta.
Yeah, it's fine.
It didn't work.
You went from A to D.
Got to go from A to C. Anyway,
what else did you see?
I watched Vacation Friends 2.
Okay.
Yeah. How it? So, did you at least laugh at all or no?
Okay, so I
don't care if it's a dumb comedy if you laughed.
I really like Vacation Friends.
I still haven't seen it.
I actually do as well. I think it's funny.
Fun. And it's fun because John Cena is so unexpected as this blah, 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 whatever. And so then I'm like, this is not a movie that needs a sequel. And I was right.
Okay.
It's so bad.
Oh, bummer.
It's so bad.
It didn't feel like it had... in the trailer, I'm like, this plot doesn't work.
And I listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that Vacation Friends... had lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
I'm not here to say that, but
I get the concept.
Whatever they had in that moment, they didn't need to do anything with it, and they did, and it was like, wow, okay. Because like if John Cena spikes his hair up and does coke and is weird in the first movie, and you're like, wow, that's so unexpected. But now you know that about him.
Yeah.
And now you're putting him in another movie like this again. It's just exactly that.
So it's a lot of the same jokes.
It's a lot of the same jokes, and honestly, a worse version of a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's just bad. I think that his stand-up comedian, I think he's from China, is Ronnie Chang.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He has now been in Joyride as the businessman from overseas that is going to judge you.
Yeah.
He was in Vacation Friends
he was in Crazy Rich Asians.
The businessman from overseas that's going to judge you.
Yeah.
In Vacation Friends 2. I've seen him now in 3 films where he's the businessman from overseas.
Yeah.
He's found his role, and he's hopefully cleaning up because he's really good at it.
Yeah.
But also, I want that guy to get paid if he's going to be pigeonholing himself into this.
For sure.
It's just funny to see him pop up over and over as kind of the same guy.
Yeah. What else did you watch?
My assigned movie was Friday Night Lights, which I watched, and
I have seen this one.
I'm glad you've seen it, buddy. So I looked into this a little bit.
This is the one where Keanu Reeves plays football with
no, it's one with
the replacement.
The pros are on strike.
Yep. And I thought Nate gave it to me apropos. There's a strike going on in Hollywood. John Favreau plays in it. He's great.
Of course.
No. So Friday Night Lights, Billy Bob Thornton plays the coach. And there's a few who's who in the
Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah, and Tim McGraw.
Is that a thing? Is Taylor Kitsch?
Or was he on the show?
Oh no, he's on the
show. That's
sorry.
what it is.
Tim McGraw is the dad in this one.
Lucas Black.
Lucas Black from Tokyo Drift.
Oh, okay.
Is the quarterback. So I know
Connie Britton, who plays every Texas mom in anything ever.
Mm-hmm. This is the Dante's Peak volcano of Friday Night Lights and Varsity Blues. Are the 2 films, and I don't know when Varsity Blues came out.
Friday Night Lights came out like 4 or 5 years later, I think.
Yes.
Friday Night Lights came out 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah, Varsity Blues came out in '98, and I think Friday Night Lights came out in like 2002 or 2003.
Really?
1999 to 2004.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Varsity Blues was the first one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This one didn't have Ali Larter.
No.
That Friday Night Lights was the first one.
Oh, I know.
Because it's the more serious one.
No.
Wow. That actually blows me a little bit.
But this has Friday Night Lights has the music is done by Explosions in the Sky, which I love.
Oh, it's a great band.
Yeah. They do the music to Friday Night.
Very solid movie overall. Very much paint by numbers, but done very well.
Yeah.
I watched this movie, and the star running back is so cocky and so confident and so overwritten that I texted Brad 10 minutes in, like, when does he get hurt? Because it's you can just see it, and of course he gets hurt, and then so there are a lot of telegraphing, and so that I didn't love where I could have seen a lot of this coming, right? But the performances are extremely good. Billy Bob Thornton is incredible as this coach, and overall I really liked it.
I think one of the interesting things about this that I didn't get, and this was recommended to me because my brother and sister-in-law lived in Texas at the time that this came out, and they said this is very, very similar. They lived in Allen, Texas, which at that time I think built a $35 million football stadium. It's bigger than most college stadiums, and like this is real. This is what this is life for us. Like our lives, not theirs because they're not sports
literally
people, like,
revolve around.
Yeah, like we don't understand this world, but their whole lives like revolve around football.
And it's that thing where it went from I caught 13 touchdown passes, 87. Here's the ring. Right, they still are. They work at the auto dealership, and they're putting that out. And people are like, "Oh my God, you're that guy. I'm going to buy a car." They literally, it will cement your legacy for your whole life there.
Yep.
I bought a car from Texas, 2 passes today.
I'm not joking.
Yeah, but you don't have to play in the NFL. You just have to star on this football team, high school football team. Yep.
There's a couple guys locally that were slicer baseball players in the 80s and 90s that still live off that fame, and I'm not joking about that.
And they suck.
And I'm going to name names right now. I'm just joking.
You know who you are.
You're listeners of this podcast,
and you suck.
So yeah, those are the movies. That's what I watched.
All right, Nate, what have you watched lately?
I saw a couple of films. I've been blogging a little bit on my Instagram. I blogged about this. I watched Forrest Gump again.
Can you blog on Instagram?
Can you?
Yeah, I mean, blogging is just like writing online. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, listen, I'm asking questions.
Actually, I think Instagram is one of the I think most preeminent blogging sites now.
So what you mean is you put a picture up and then I have to read 9 paragraphs.
You have to read a lot. Yeah.
Okay. No, that is.
No, I know you never like it, but that's fine. But I watched.
He likes it, but don't expect him to have read it.
I don't.
I love Reddit.
So I watched a movie. It's a movie called Forrest Gump, and I watched it with my son Finn. I am going through some of my favorite films.
And I see, this is the thing that I will never experience because I'm never having kids. But the idea that you get to show this to the one of the people you love the most in this world, you get to allow, and he loves it. Right, he's on the same page. You get to experience that with him again through new eyes. God, I love that for you.
And in my blog, I write about. I watched actually. This film came out when I was 13, and he's 13 years old, and I remember watching this film. I've got a few films that I remember watching with my mother, who passed when I was 15, and I remember watching Forrest Gump and just being blown away by Tom Hanks' performance, but also by a story that I didn't like. It just weaved some things in there that I didn't see coming. And at the end,
Finn's pretty smart though. So was he like, hey, she just came back because she had AIDS?
I don't know if he got all the nuances of that part. I think he probably did, but I don't know if he did. But it was so much fun. After, like, it was getting late.
The concept of AIDS probably isn't as prominent for him anyway.
Actually,
it's really not.
He was not at all,
it's not. And so,
and I don't blame him.
There was a couple other things I forget. I should have written them down that I picked up in the film now watching at 42 that I don't think I got at 13.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
when he jizzes.
Ew.
No, for real though. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, when the mom is doing the hump thing?
No, Forrest goes to visit Jenny at college, and like it's raining outside. He's been waiting forever for her to come back, and she comes back and she's making out with a dude in the car, and he like beats the shit out of him, and so like he's soaking wet, and he like is getting ready to leave because he sees that she's upset, but she brings him into his dorm, and she's in there, and they're just like talking to each other, and she's like taking off her clothes because they're wet from the rain, and he's looking at her in her bra, and and she sees that he's like curious in that way, and so she takes off her bra and she like puts his hand like on her body, and he jizzes himself, and he's like, oh, and then you hear her say, and it shows the roommate in the foreground like hearing what's happening, and he goes, I think I ruined your roommate's bathrobe.
Is that right when she said "come, Forrest, come"?
Oh boy, you just took it too far.
Yeah, I mean there was a line there. And you went right past
really on this podcast where Brad has said the word "cum dumpster" 19,000 times.
Yeah, I mean, I
didn't say it today
on air.
So
anyway, long story short,
great film.
Did Finn like it?
He loved it,
Okay.
and we talked about it, and he's like, Dad, this was so good. And so he had the exact response out of this film that I wanted him to have. I'm going to next film I'm going to watch with him is Good Will Hunting.
Nice.
I'm just going through some of the films that I watched that I just loved, that made me love film, and he had the right response from it. So I just loved taking that in with my son.
Perfect.
Also loved, I watched a film. So I've got to preface this because you're going to hate me for it, but I am a huge fan of my
porn.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the film.
First one's great.
The first one's great.
I loved it. And
It is
so
great.
I watched the second one. I'm like, okay, that's fine. My buddy, my buddy Joe Ruiz and I, we often quote the first film to each other, especially about our kids. Why you want to leave me? Well, these kind of things. And he's like, hey, when the third one comes out, let's go to see it in the theater. I said, I'm there. And so I go, and I'm hoping for something. I'm hoping just to have a little bit of that first film that comes through. Nia Vardalos actually directed this film, so I thought maybe, give somebody else a chance to do it. She obviously loves this brand.
Didn't she direct the first one too?
I don't think she did.
I thought she did.
Did she? I will look it up for you.
John Corbett directed the first one.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding was directed by Joel Zwick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, famous Joel Zwick.
It did not work. It
did not work.
And I really, really wanted it to. I would have forgiven a lot in this film because I really, really wanted it to work. The fun of what I love about this film.
And to be clear, you didn't set out to watch An American Wedding.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, just making sure that you're getting your films correct.
But what I love about My Big Fat Greek Wedding is it's a complicated family that really loves each other. And I wanted that to come through. And it does a little bit, but the story in this third one is they go to Greece. The whole story is about Greece. It's an adventure story. I don't want an adventure story. I just want a complicated story. I also think this doesn't work because the dad, who is also in Prancer, what is his name?
Sam Elliott.
No.
Prancer.
No, Michael Constantine.
Yeah, the actor actually died.
Yeah, he died.
The Windex guy?
Yeah, and he brings so much humor in the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know if the film works without him because there's the tension between him and Nia Vardalos is necessary, and the humor there is necessary.
Well,
and it just
was the
doesn't work.
second one any good?
No, the second one was not very good either.
It wasn't that great. No.
Yeah, and honestly, like when I saw the trailer for the third one, I was just like, yeah, this is not.
Yeah, it was exactly what you feared would happen.
Cash grab?
It did happen.
It's not even that it's a cash grab. I think that she legitimately had a final story she wanted to tell,
Exactly.
and like it was a completion of like what she probably always envisioned for the characters. But it's just one of those things where like that first movie had like some real magic in it to work as well as it
was
did.
The best thing
it was
about
so unexpected.
Yeah.
The best thing about this one, though, is, again, Andrea Martin, who plays Aunt Vula, who is, I think she's the one that does the Bunt cake.
The boot cake.
Yeah, she's so good in this, and she's still good in the third one, but just doesn't save it.
So missing the father daughter dynamic of it.
Exactly.
And by the way, My Big Fat Greek Wedding was what, 2001, like 22 years ago.
2002.
So 21 years ago.
Let me tell you how well this first one did. Budget of $5 million, made $370 million.
Yeah, it was one of the most successful independent movies of all time.
So of course, any studio, even at a third one's like, well, there will be enough residual effect here that we can make some money.
Yeah.
That's
so
fair.
I also
cash grab, Brad.
Yeah.
Well,
both can be true.
these days, this kind of sequel is not a guarantee, no matter how successful that first movie is. I mean, these movies just don't hit.
Tell me again about Saw 10.
Hey, horror is the exception.
The exception to that rule,
horror always hits hard.
Because they're also cheap movies to make, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I also watched, I was assigned Multiplicity by my buddy Brad.
Fuck yeah.
Whoa, by the way, I don't know if you saw that, but he just got really rock hard.
I think I ruined Ben's robe.
Starring Michael Keaton, Andy
Michael
McDowell.
And Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
And it was directed by Harold Ramis.
R.I.P.
He's dead?
I don't know if you saw the last
Airbender?
Ghostbusters.
I thought he just was unavailable.
So this is about a guy. Michael Keaton plays a guy that is married. His marriage is in a little bit of trouble. I didn't love Michael Keaton in this. I'm going to tell you this.
What?
Wait, hold on.
No. Let me.
You didn't like Michael. You didn't like Michael Keaton's first character.
I didn't. Yep. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly. I was going to say. Let me clarify.
Okay. And you're not really supposed to.
I know, but I really didn't like him. This is a film that does not age well.
Brad,
because
the movie did its job.
It is like. There is a scene there, and Andie MacDowell is like the sweetest, like sweetheart in this film.
He does hit her.
It is almost like you expect him to. He's like, he yells at her, and then he comes over to her, and he's like trying to hug her and like be like, it's okay. And I'm like, dude, that is like a very abusive behavior. Like, I think a therapist is in order for your relationship,
or a cloning machine.
But instead, he goes and gets himself cloned.
Well, it's to be fair. What it is in the scenario is like,
let's defend this.
No,
No,
don't
no,
defend him.
no.
It is.
The
I'm just
idea-
saying, I've Me Too'd him already.
the idea is that like he's overworked. It's his own fault, and like he's not taking.
We're all overworked. All right.
So you're making excuses for him.
So he's overworked. Like he's stressed out. Like he knows that. I don't think he's ever necessarily like intentionally like abusive or manipulative. He's just like quick to be like frustrated and angry just because I think he's more than anything he's disappointed in himself because he knows he's not coming through as a husband, as a professional,
It's borderline
that kind of thing.
abusive.
But
to
you
me.
can't take that out on.
It
your
is. It
relationship,
is like borderline. Like it was honestly. I was surprised by him. Like that just seems really unhealthy. Like, but again, where Michael Keaton,
1996,
where Michael Keaton does well, and where the film does find its is so he gets cloned. He gets cloned into kind of like this a little bit more of a macho, or just kind of like
it's crazy. He gets cloned into like a guy that would hate gay guys.
Yeah.
And then a gay guy.
Yeah.
That's and then somebody
and then
with special
kind of
needs.
a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and where he does well is playing those because sometimes you just don't even think it's Michael Keaton in those roles. He does really well.
He's honestly that's a.
Do you
great
love this film?
I really love this movie, and
I liked it.
And a big part of it is
performances,
because Michael Keaton is so good in this movie. The differences between the characters, like it could have been a much more over the top performance for each one, but he does such a good job of creating a clear delineation between each one without overdoing it. And I appreciate so much that for a movie that came out in 1996,
that was my guess.
yeah, the way that they put him in the same scene together, especially when there's four of them, it still like feels
It was better than the Flash.
It feels like the way they interact is amazing, and sure, sometimes you can see like the seams of like them shooting on different like plates and things like that. But the way he
looks like a very slightly overdone Photoshop, a little bit, right?
but the way
it's not bad.
and the way they interact is amazing. Like there's moments where they chest bump each other, and I'm like, I don't know how you fucking did that
Right.
because it looks great.
and
movie
they're not
magic.
just bumping stunt actors with the face in pose because
No.
they didn't have the technology.
Yeah, exactly.
So they literally did it with greens, or not, maybe kind of green.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a making of feature out there.
You know what? We
No,
need
it
to-
did.
yeah.
It did feel like they were on some cusp of doing some great visual
Yeah.
effects in this film.
Cusp?
That I had
I
not
mean,
seen.
it was. I don't know.
I had not seen, but I mean, it was good. But let's not
For 96
overdo-
though.
Yeah, for 96. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it taught them in that film something that really in 2000 I feel like made films even better.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, I love this movie because
So
Michael Keaton
this-
is so good in it.
This film was a commercial failure.
Yeah.
It did not do well. And I looked it up.
She touched my peppy, Steve.
It came out in July of 1996. What films do you think were above it? It was an opening weekend, the 7th film.
Independence Day.
It just beat out by 70,000 Kazam.
I mean, Independence Day, 1996.
That was number one.
Mission
Yeah.
Impossible.
No.
I think that was a fall release.
Oh, sorry. So it came out in 96, but it hadn't been released yet.
Yeah, so it's a summer
Gotcha.
blockbuster.
Gotcha.
I'll give you a hint.
96.
Number 2 was John Travolta film.
Broken Arrow.
No.
Face Off.
Yeah, I think it's Face Off.
No, I'm going to give you an even hint. Our listeners
Wait,
won't see this.
96.
The
John
poster,
Travolta.
the poster for the film is John Travolta doing this.
Oh,
it's-
Michael.
No, Phenomenon.
Yep, phenomenon.
Oh, fuck.
And it made $8 million. What was third place? Let me give you a hint. I think actually we mentioned it already this podcast.
96.
Maybe we didn't.
Waterworld.
But Denzel.
1996.
Fallen?
Maybe we didn't.
Fallen?
Nope. Meg Ryan.
Oh,
90s?
Courage Under Fire?
Courage Under Fire. Did we not mention that?
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Fourth place was, let me give you Eddie Murphy.
96 Eddie Murphy.
Nutty Professor.
Chubby Eddie Murphy. Yep.
Chubby Eddie Murphy.
Fourth place. I don't know.
No, you said fourth place.
Sorry, fifth place. I don't know if I've heard of this. Let me give you the hint because I don't.
Joe Black.
After a tragic car accident that kills his wife, a
Meet Joe
man
Black.
discovers he can communicate with the dead, and he uses that gift to con people. However, when a demonic spirit appears, he may be the only one who could stop it from killing the living and the dead.
Oh, I know this, but what is it?
Read that one more time.
Michael J. Fox is in this.
The Frighteners.
Yep.
Ooh.
That was opening weekend. That won at the box office. The next one, two prisoners chained together.
Life.
Flee during an escape attempt gone bad.
Life.
Nope.
Eddie Murphy and Martin Short. Or Martin Lawrence.
God, I would love to see that movie.
Nope. I will give you a hint, though. This film stars the great Stephen Baldwin, Lawrence Fishburne, and Will Patton.
Oh, I don't even know what this is.
Fair Game.
Never heard of this film at all. It is called
No, that's-
Fled.
No.
Oh, yeah,
I
I've
don't
heard
know.
of that.
It
No,
also
Fair Game is, I believe, a Baldwin brother and Cindy Crawford from 1998.
Yes, that's true.
And then Multiplicity was 7. Then Kazam was 8.
But the Multiplicity open at number 7?
Yeah.
Wow. Because, well, okay, so Michael Keaton, his star was not what it was.
I mean, he was
That's
a
true. No,
well-known star, but
not around that time. I couldn't even tell you.
It's not that he was persona non grata, but
Yeah.
Batman Returns is 92.
Yeah.
He hadn't done much.
Yeah, I can't even. I mean, yeah. There's a few years there. I can't even tell you what he did in between
My
there. Really,
Life.
probably.
You know, which is obviously he was maybe more character driven, a couple of movies. And
so I'll give you Much Ado About Nothing was in 1993.
Yeah.
My Life was in 1993. The Paper. Have you seen?
Oh,
that?
actually, I really
like
love The Paper.
I'm
The
a
Paper's
That was a
really
Ron
good.
Howard film.
Wait,
Yeah.
have you seen that?
I don't know if I have.
Oh, dude.
1994.
Are you serious? Like, is Randy Quaid? I'm not joking. Randy Quaid
Oh, Michael Keaton,
Glenn
Glenn Close, Marissa Tomei,
Yeah.
Randy Quaid, and Robert Duvall.
about a paper getting it right or wrong.
Oh yeah, it was nominated for best.
I love that
original
movie.
Song from Make Up Your Mind.
Have you really not seen it? Because I will.
I honestly don't
I'm
remember it,
giving
no.
no, we're gonna watch it.
It's very good.
And then in 1994,
Brad,
he also
I own
did,
that on physical media.
he
So do
did
I.
a film called Speechless. Do you guys know that one?
No.
Michael Keaton,
Yeah,
Gina Davis, Bonnie Bedelia, Ernie Hudson, and Christopher Reeve.
I think that was an HBO movie, wasn't it?
Bonnie Bedelia from Die Hard fame? Good for her. That's Die Hard's wife.
Die Hard's wife.
That is true, yeah. Well, I'm not surprised you know that. 'Cause I've never heard of Bonnie Bedelia.
Holly McClane.
And then Multiplicity, and then Inventing the Abbotts, Jackie Brown, Desperate Measures, Out of Sight, Jack Frost.
So did you like Multiplicity?
I did. I guess I didn't. I know you love this film. I didn't love it, but I did like it.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. I like it a lot. I had actually there is a GIF from this movie that I use constantly because it's one of the best uses of this gesture ever, and it's Michael Keaton doing the jerk off motion. Like, give me a fucking
No, I'm
break.
pretty sure you've shared that.
Oh,
with
I'm
us.
sure I have. Yeah, I fucking love that so much.
Is it because the copy of the copy is a bit problematic in 2023?
There is a little
It's a
bit
little
of
that. Though I watched-
If
I
you
watched this-
rewatch it, there's
I watched
even
this
in
film
even in the kind of
about a year ago. I watched this film again, and honestly, as much as I know it's a period of it took place in that time and blah blah blah. It is hard to reconcile that a bit.
To be
there's some
fair,
of it. There's some of it.
they
Yep.
never used the R word.
No, which is honestly in 1996,
Surprising.
you think they would.
Surprising.
I'm not joking.
because guess what? They
Also-
use the R word in Waterworld.
But also, I don't think they use the gay F word either.
No, they don't.
And so that is progress
Yeah.
for back then, for sure. Also, hidden gem in that film, Eugene Levy.
Yes.
He's
Well, did not recognize for a
fucking-tastic
second,
as
and
the
I'm like, oh,
concrete
that
guy
is a young
that was
Eugene Levy.
Supposed to come. Oh no, I thought you talked about last week and
Yeah.
being this. He's perfect.
But it's so weird though, because his accent is kind of Italian.
He's trying to play like he's got an unbuttoned shirt. His hamburger meter is on display.
Yeah, I'm like,
he's kind of Italian, but
Like,
not really.
very Jewish Eugene Levy.
Jewish Italian. So good.
All right. The other film I watched, I will say I did like it better, was Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World.
And that's something that your best friend Ben gave you.
Starring Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany.
Isn't it great?
Fighting against Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, it's so good.
Napoleon.
So good.
It is a fun film.
It's so fun.
I was hoping it was a true story. It is not.
It's not. But what a great film.
But
right?
I love the chemistry of the two main actors. It literally, I mean, there's obviously other actors, but it is just those two.
It's a character study between two men.
Eating up screen,
Yep.
doing some incredible acting. I've said it on this podcast before. I am deathly afraid of space and sea. But again, I still love this film.
Space and sea.
And it was just so much fun. Also, if you love war strategy films,
Yeah.
It's so much fun there. So there's
He's
a part of it that is
brilliant
also
tactician.
exactly where you're
And
like, what are they gonna do?
Paul Bettany's character. So
There's a little
honestly,
mystery to it.
Explain a bit to the listener, because this is an older movie that maybe not a lot of people have seen.
So it's set in the early 1800s, I would guess, and it is the HMS Surprise, and Russell Crowe is the captain of this ship. And he has his best friend, his trusted companion, and it's a surgeon played by Paul Bettany. And
Man of science.
Yep, and they are ordered to, Napoleon has taken over the world, and they are ordered to capture a powerful vessel from the French Navy that is, essentially tied to Napoleon. And it's all about them trying to find this vessel. And
in the meanwhile, Paul Bettany is like, can we stop at this place and so I can collect specimens?
Exactly.
And that's what he's all about, right? And his best friend being Russell Crowe, Russell wants to accommodate that to a certain point.
Because at this point in our civilization's kind of formation, they're still doing cartography. They're still trying to.
You can become world
this
famous.
This is Charles Darwin
for
going to Galapagos type of thing, and so
that dichotomy is incredible to me.
Yep.
Where Russell Crowe's character has to, honestly, my best friend who I love to death wants this thing, and I have to serve the greater good here. How do I do this?
Also, a great gift comes from this film as well.
Go on.
Russell Crowe looking out the window.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
leaning out.
Yeah.
Just if you're on your phone right now, just go to the gift menu
factory
and Russell Crowe lean, and you're gonna get that one. Yeah. So I'm glad you liked it.
I did. I enjoyed this film a lot.
Good.
I'm glad you loved Multiplicity too.
It was fine.
So yeah, let's talk about some trailers before we go. And Ben, your voice sounds like it's just ready and raring to go for a trailer song.
Yeah, you're exactly
It's sultry.
right.
It's sultry.
Yeah, no.
No?
Oh, you really want this?
Nate, do you want to sing a trailer song?
I don't really have one in mind right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You're really good at it. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Trailers. That's
Trailers. We like some trailers.
They like us back.
We want to see some new movies.
Let's not attack.
But we'll watch some trailers.
Right now we'll talk.
I like to watch trailers lots.
MLB players balk. You can make that good, right?
For those of you that don't know, that's a reference to So I Married an Axe Murderer. So yeah, let's talk about a couple trailers. The first one we'll talk about is Ben, you're going to love this because it's for a new series on Apple TV Plus.
You just had to.
A TV show.
Yeah, TV show.
I will admit that I thought this was a movie, and when I heard it was a series, when I saw it was a series, the production value was so good that I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah, and this one is
Apple TV does some
this
good
one, to be fair, actually is pretty appropriate because it's Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, and it is tied to the more recent Godzilla and King Kong movies.
It looks like they're just
there is some continuation for some of this, right?
Oh, for sure. This is inherently tied into the fabric
It's canon,
of
right?
what has been established
Monsterverse,
of Godzilla and Kong Skull Island and
This
all
is
that
just
stuff.
like they shot a 6-hour movie and cut it into episodes. Though.
The production quality looks fantastic.
That is a lot of TV shows.
It's true.
But yeah, the production quality looks very good. We've got Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell, and they are playing the same character, just in different time periods, which is very cool. I'm glad they're finally utilizing the Russells in that way. Wyatt Russell is fantastic. Kurt Russell is a legend, as we all know. And of course, Godzilla is here for the fun.
Never
as well.
ages.
You see a little bit of John Goodman here as well, reprising his character from
Every
Kong
time I
Skull
see him,
Island.
I think if and when the good old John Goodman dies, it's going to be a really sad day.
It
for
will
me.
be.
It will.
Because I love him
when he
so
pops up
much.
in anything, you hear his voice and you're like, yes.
I don't want to live in a world without John
Yeah,
Goodman.
seriously.
Yeah. So this is just a quick teaser, but I really like what this is selling so far. I'm very
I'm with
interested
you,
to see what this is going to be like. For me, the MonsterVerse movies have been hit or miss with a little more hit than miss. I think the first Godzilla is pretty dang good, but I don't love it. I think that Godzilla King of the Monsters had a lot of potential, but it kind of missed the mark. That trailer that they did for King of Monsters is one of the best trailers I've ever seen.
And that's why it's a little.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this, Brad. You and I don't know how you feel about this, Nate, but we have the ability to be very let down with a movie if the trailer was so good and the movie's not that good.
Yeah.
It's like, good job marketing, but fuck.
Absolutely.
You tricked us.
Kong Skull Island, I loved.
Loved.
And Godzilla vs. Kong is pretty damn good, I think. A lot of fun.
Skull Island is probably at the top for me. I really like that movie.
I agree for sure. But yeah, so I'm excited to see where this goes and exactly.
So are they
what it's
bringing
about.
in Kong as well to this or no?
So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to.
That'll be the teaser at the end of the 6th episode.
Yeah,
For a second season, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, if that's supposed to be a surprise or something like that. I'm sure this is probably more so about filling in the gaps of other monsters that have existed, stuff that Monarch knows about, because there's a tease in credit scenes and like in between the past set movies and the modern set movies where Monarch has obviously encountered several other monsters that we haven't really seen properly on the big screen yet.
Let me read the premise from the Wikipedia page. It says, following the epic battle between Godzilla and the Mutos, or the MUTOs, that leveled San Francisco, and the shocking revelation that monsters are real, two siblings following in their father's footsteps uncover their family's connection to the secretive organization known as Monarch. Clues lead them into the world of monsters and ultimately down the rabbit hole to Army officer Lee Shaw, taking place in the 1950s and half a century later, where Monarch is threatened by what Shaw knows. The dramatic saga, spanning 3 generations, reveals buried secrets and the ways the epic earth-shattering events can reverberate through our lives. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
this is going to be great. I love that premise.
Apple loves throwing money at TV shows, so I'm curious to see how much they throw at this one, and it should be pretty cool. The other trailer that we watched is called No One Will Save You, and this is a movie that is directed by Brian Duffield. He also wrote it. He also did another movie called Spontaneous, which I've heard is very good, but I haven't watched yet, and I'm going to very soon. But Brian Duffield is also responsible for writing some other movies that hopefully you've seen, and if you haven't, you should seek them out. Love and Monsters.
Love a Monster.
Love and Monsters is fantastic.
Great film.
Yeah, it came out during the pandemic.
If you've not seen this, it is so good.
Yeah, it is very, very good.
There's literally no way you put we put this on not knowing what it was.
Yep.
And within 10 minutes, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It is a quintessential pandemic film for me. There wasn't a lot coming out at that point because we're all home. It came out and it kept me entertained.
Yeah,
I watched it like
so good.
5 times.
So
Yeah, I think it's very good. And he also wrote the script for Underwater. Have you guys seen that?
I have not.
Oh, I might have to assign that to you. It is an underwater.
Wait, is that
Kristen Stewart?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Oh,
I did not see that. So
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot,
Yeah,
too.
it's like Alien underwater. It's very
It
good.
is.
Saying,
And also
sea and space.
Kristen
Remember
Stewart
that,
was the
but-
turn off when I.
But she's very good.
No,
at
no,
it.
but that was Kristen Stewart. Then that was the first time I saw her in a film where I was like, oh shit, maybe she's not the problem.
Have you seen Spencer?
No.
I like Spencer
Have you
a lot.
seen The Babysitter?
I haven't seen The Babysitter. I have heard
It
it's
is
very good.
so
though.
good. Yeah, I'm
that's what I've
surprised you
heard.
haven't. I saw it, and it's kind of a slasher film.
Yeah.
And I might assign that to you.
On
the horror
Netflix.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that. It's
Samara Weaving's in it. Yep.
Very good.
Yeah, I have to watch that still. But yeah, so this is from Brian Duffield, who did those movies. It stars Caitlin Dever, who was in Booksmart. And man, I love this fucking trailer. No dialogue, relies heavily on tension and sound effects. It builds plenty of suspense, is a great tease. I haven't felt this excited about how an alien invasion movie was teased probably since like Signs, and that's kind of a little bit of what vibe this has, almost like a 10 Cloverfield Lane meets Signs kind of movie.
Also, when
Yeah, this looks terrifying to me.
remember when you saw the trailer for A Quiet Place.
Yeah, That's a good one.
It was very similar to that because no dialogue. They just, not super happy with the last 5 seconds of it because they reveal a little too much. But I will say that I'll forgive them because they need to appeal to mass audiences. So that's what mass audiences are going to want.
Yeah. So,
wow, though, yeah.
Yeah, this looks very cool. Nate, what do you think? I know you've got your alien sphere.
Space and Sea. Remember?
Space and Sea.
This looks great. This trailer was terrifying. I'm not kidding you. This trailer was suspenseful. It was like a mini film. It was so well done. The film looks great.
So I complain all the time that
I might even see this based on the trailer.
I don't want to.
I don't like scary movies.
I don't want to see the whole movie in a trailer.
Right.
And so when they go on too long and they kind of give you the whole plot, this did a great job of being a longer trailer without doing any of that.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know the whole plot.
Yeah.
But it is.
But it still wasn't a teaser to me. It was a full trailer.
The person that edited the trailer, though, it is a beautiful trailer. Like, it is just well done.
Look
it's like a mini film.
Give them an Academy Award.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see that. This is going to be.
It looks scary, though. It looks really scary.
Yeah.
and
I
was scared, and I'm like, this must be an R-rated film. It's a PG-13 film.
I will come over. I'll watch this with you.
Okay, but you're probably trying to scare me, and I don't love that either.
You mean like when your friend creeps down behind a car in the driveway and as I'm walking into my house? Yeah.
So this is going to be on Hulu on September 22nd. So make sure you check that out.
Yeah, so watch Vacation Friends 2.
And no one will save you. And funnily enough, that's the warning before you watch Vacation Friends 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said this, but Monarch Legacy of Monsters comes out November 17th.
There you go. Yeah, we got a little time to wait for that one. So
guys, we did it.
I love movies.
I think they're okay.
So, listener, we are flirting with the idea of sometime soon doing a full episode and then half an hour afterwards playing just a long version of the Leonard Maltin game. This is something we're working on. I would love to do it, but we want to hear from you. Would you prefer just one full episode, an hour and a half, and we just do it? Or do you like the segment idea of doing a full podcast and then, hey, if you want to stick around afterwards, we'll just do this? Because I really want to do it, and I want to know from you. I want to hear all of it.
Well, there you go.
Also, we did get a voicemail that you're going to put in our episode this week as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, basically, we can. This will serve as our intro. Yeah, we got a very important voicemail.
I can't believe this happened.
Yeah, a very famous filmmaker. And you're gonna want to hear what he has to say. It was a compliment and an honor to hear from this man. And let's play that right now.
Hello, Ben, Brad, and Nate. This is acclaimed director and famed nihilist Werner Herzog. I'm calling to congratulate you on another fine podcast. As we know, life is a rotting crow in the parking lot of an elementary school. And we, the dream makers, are the maggots picking clean the carcass to expose the beauty beneath. I, of course, do this through my application of authorship and directing, and you through amateur podcasts. The summer phenomenon Barbenheimer has shown American audiences are ready to explore dark existential themes through the lens of absurdity, and the time is ripe for Go Fix Yourself, the musical. Please spend the next 6 months coming up with a catalog of fantastic songs while I begin the pre-preparation for our beginning project, Phase 2. Also, it wouldn't kill you guys to do a little bit of talking about Frasier. It is a great show. Herzog out.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm touched.
Takes your breath away.
Yeah, I feel it right here in my heart. Thank you to Werner Herzog for calling in and just expressing, how much you appreciate.
And if any of our other fans or directors or actors want to leave us a voicemail, it is one of our favorite things.
Here's some people I would like to request call in, please. Christopher Walken.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Would love to hear from him. Sylvester Stallone, while we're at it,
for sure.
I think. Yeah.
For sure.
Who else would be fun to hear from?
I feel like anybody, if anybody wants to call in and just,
Al Pacino.
George W. Bush.
That would be fun. Yeah,
love to hear him.
Yeah, it's a weird request for this kind of podcast, but sure, I would be down to hear that.
Nope.
Joe Pesci.
Of course, I'd love to hear from Joe Pesci.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to hear
Yeah.
from Joe Pesci?
I feel like we should probably hear from Sandra Bernhard.
I'd like to hear from James Stewart. If Jimmy Stewart wants to call in, that would be great. And Don Knotts. Let's hear from here. If any of you are listening out there, some of you I think are dead. But please leave a message.
You can call from the grave. You get a call
from beyond the
you
grave.
Get a call.
We know how channels work between life and death. So yeah, any of those people want to call in, feel free to send a message.
We would but seriously, we would love that.
Yeah, no, seriously, it would be a lot
It gives
of
us
fun.
so much joy.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening, and as always, smash that like and subscribe button.
Share the podcast too. Let other people know if they love films.
We love you so much.
Yeah, we love doing this for
I'm gonna go
you.
rest my fucking voice.
Oh yeah, you're so
It hurts so much right now.
you so poor.
What? Oh man, that hurt to say. Well, Brad,
Brad.
bye everybody, bye, bye everybody, bye.
Nah, cheating, eh?